welcome to this explainer. Today we're going to bridge that chaotic gap between arriving in Gujarat and stepping safely into your brand new Rashtriya Raksha University hostel room. Whether you're stumbling off a packed train at Kolhapur railway station after a super long journey or grabbing your bags at the bustling Ahmedabad International Airport, trying to navigate a massive new city to find a rural campus can be incredibly stressful. The transition from a busy transit hub to tranquil university grounds shouldn't be a total nightmare. So today, we are going to completely demystify that journey in depth, mapping out every single pitfall and shortcut. Let's get right into it.
All right, I need to start things off with a massive warning right up front, because if you blindly trust older transit apps, your very first day as a fresher is going to be an absolute disaster. Seriously, this is the single most common mistake incoming students make, and falling for it will literally waste an entire day of travel. We are definitely going to ensure that doesn't happen to you.
To make sure you arrive safely and sanely, we're going chronologically through everything you need to know. First up, the Great Map Trap. Then, real distances and times. Third, ranking your route options. Fourth, essential travel survival tips. And finally, your hostel room doorstep.
Let's kick things off with Section 1, the Great Map Trap.
Okay, this is absolutely crucial. It's the single most important correction of this entire explainer, the very confusing tale of two campuses. You see, the institution used to be called Raksha Shakti University, and its original former campus was located in Hansal, Ahmedabad. But here's the thing, the internet never truly forgets, right? That old address is still lingering heavily online. It constantly shows up in outdated directory listings, older transit apps, and even on some maps. Now, that Hansal location, super easy to get to. It's just a quick 13-minute walk from the Shahpur metro station, right in the city. But listen to me carefully. That is not where you live and study today. The university's current, actual campus is located in Lavad Dahem in the Gandhinagar district. Guys, this isn't just a minor mix-up or, a different building down the street. It is a genuinely separate, distant location. If you tell an auto or cab driver to simply take you to RRU in Hansal based on a quick search, you are going to be stranded in the wrong part of the city, literally miles away from your actual hostel. Always verify you're heading specifically to Lavad Dahem.
Moving right along to Section 2, real distances and times. Now that we know exactly where we're going, we really need to dive into how far it actually is. Official university documents and various brochures can occasionally throw around slightly varying figures, which honestly causes a lot of confusion. So the crucial takeaway here is that whether you're leaving from Kolhapur railway station in the heart of the city or the international airport up north, you are looking at roughly a 39 to 44-kilometer journey. Why the varying numbers? Well, your exact starting point in a massive city like Ahmedabad matters, and so does the specific highway route your driver decides to take. But the bottom line? 40 kilometers is not a quick hop across town. You are traveling from a massive, bustling metropolis right into a comparatively rural area in the Dahegam Taluka. The landscape literally shifts from multi-lane urban highways to narrower rural district roads. You really need to mentally and practically prepare for a proper road trip, not just a 10-minute metro ride. And because it's a genuine road trip, your travel time is entirely dependent on the incredibly variable local traffic. Please do not quote one single time estimate as gospel. You might see some brochures say it takes 45 minutes, while others warn of an hour and a half. The crazy part? Both can be entirely true. You're basically navigating two completely different traffic ecosystems. First, you have to fight your way through heavy, unpredictable Ahmedabad city gridlock. Then, as you transition onto the district roads leading into Dahegam, you might find yourself stuck behind slow-moving local transport, tractors, or those massive GSRTC state buses on single-lane stretches. Because of these distinct environments, you realistically need to budget anywhere from 45 to 90 minutes for the journey. Honestly, if you're arriving during morning or evening rush hour, absolutely expect the latter. Plan your schedule with that full 90-minute buffer in mind, so you aren't stressing in the backseat about missing a vital orientation meeting or a strict hostel check-in window.
All right, let's jump into Section 3, ranking your route options.
So, you know the exact destination and the true distance. Now let's evaluate your actual practical travel choices in depth. Option 1 is the direct cab or auto. This is, for sure, the simplest option for a first-time traveler. You walk out of the airport or station, open an app, grab a ride, and head straight to campus. But there is a major practical catch here. Remember, you're heading to a semi-rural area. While finding a cab inside Ahmedabad is a breeze, Ola and Uber availability thins out noticeably once you hit Lavad village. Drivers are often reluctant to travel there because they might not score a return fare. If you need a ride back into the city or if you're arriving at an odd hour, you absolutely must book ahead. Option 2 is the university bus service. We highly recommend this one. It connects from specific spots across Ahmedabad like Naroda or Gandhinagar via InfoCity. It is hands down the cheapest, most student-friendly way to travel, and you're surrounded by your peers. However, here's the kicker. It runs entirely based on student demand, not a fixed public daily timetable. Because it services a residential campus, you absolutely have to contact the university transport or hostel office well before you travel to confirm the route and timing. You can't just stand at a bus stop assuming a campus shuttle will magically show up. Finally, option 3 is combining a train with a local taxi or state bus. Now, this is the ultimate budget-friendly route, but wow, it requires some real effort. There's no direct train right into RRU. You have to take a train toward Nodol Dehegum or a GSRTC bus to the Dehegum bus station. Keep in mind that station is still about 11 kilometers away from the campus gates. From there, you'll be negotiating and hailing a local auto or cab for that final leg. If you're hauling heavy luggage, transferring between trains, crowded platforms, and local autos in the heat, it can be physically exhausting. It's cheaper, yeah, but you definitely pay for it with required transfers and intense local navigation.
Which brings us to Section 4, Essential Travel Survival Tips. Before you even step foot in a vehicle, there are a few practical realities of traveling into a semi-rural district that you've got to prepare for just to avoid getting stranded. Follow these steps religiously. Number 1, verify that Lava Dahegam address with your driver before the car even goes into gear. Double-check that they know they are leaving the city limits. Number 2, and I cannot stress this enough, download your route on offline maps. Absolute lifesaver. Self-service can drop off significantly once you pass Dahegam town and enter those rural stretches. If your driver isn't familiar with the campus route, you're going to have to step up and navigate. If you don't have offline maps downloaded, the moment your network drops, both you and your city-based driver will basically be driving blind. Number 3, pre-book your cabs if you're arriving very late at night or super early in the morning. A 40-kilometer stretch into a village means you can't just casually hail a cab outside the campus gates at midnight. And finally, number 4, call the admissions or hostel office and let them know your exact arrival timing. This is a secure residential campus. Security will need to know you're coming, and communicating your arrival is standard practice that saves everyone a massive headache at the gate.
And finally, Section 5, your hostel room doorstep.
So, you've successfully navigated the chaotic city traffic, the rural roads, and those sneaky map traps to finally arrive at the campus gate. Now what? You see, official university brochures and online FAQs usually just stop right here at the entrance. But standing there with your heavy luggage, totally exhausted from a massive journey, is when the real final challenge begins. We've compiled the necessary on-the-ground steps to guide you through exactly what happens in those next 60 minutes, getting you past the security barriers and right to your actual bed.
Listen, getting your room key is going to be so much smoother if you screenshot this checklist right now and get prepared before you arrive. When you finally reach that hostel office, it's probably going to be hot, you'll be exhausted, and there will likely be a dozen other students trying to check in at the exact same time. The absolute last thing you want to do is rip open your carefully packed suitcases right there on the lawn to frantically search for a stray photocopy. Don't be that person. Instead, have a dedicated, easily accessible folder right in your hand or your day bag with these specific items: your final admissions letter, your original ID proofs, plus at least 2 photocopies of each. Why 2 copies? Well, rural campus photocopiers might not be accessible or even functioning on day 1, and having spares is a massive time saver. Bring a few passport-sized photographs for the physical hostel register paperwork too. And crucially, make sure you have the hostel warden's contact number pre-saved in your phone. These campuses are huge, and security will often need verbal verification before letting your vehicle anywhere near the residential blocks. Having this folder ready literally changes the first hour of your university life from a highly stressful scramble into a confident, easy transition. You hand over the papers, get your key, and finally, drop your bags. Having conquered the map traps, the stressful commutes, and all that check-in paperwork, you are now officially an RRU student. You're unpacked, you're in your room, and the entire campus is just waiting for you. The hardest part of the physical journey is completely over. So as you look out your hostel window at this totally unique institution dedicated to national security and policing, you gotta ask yourself, what fascinating part of campus life will you step out and explore first? Will it be the training grounds, the massive library, or hey, maybe just the canteen to celebrate your successful arrival? The journey is just beginning. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and good luck out there on your first day.